guys, so welcome back to Gemma's Taboo Health Talk channel. I'm really hoping that you're liking the videos that have already been posted. I've had some amazing comments from you guys and also some more requests, so thank you so much for everybody that has sent me a request. So today's video is going to be another aspect of something that affects our young people in puberty, and it is something that has to happen for our young men. So what we're actually going to be talking about today is voice breaking or voice changes. So as I said, this is an inevitable part of puberty happening. This shows us that they're definitely in the cycle of changing through the different stages of puberty. For the young man itself, it can be quite embarrassing, and at times it can just be quite annoying for them because they can actually lose control of the sound of their voice. But one thing that I do need to stress, it is completely natural, it is completely normal, and they will come out of it the other side. And I think that's really important, that for parents and caregivers out there, and for the young boys that are going through it, guys, just know that it is normal and it is so key in the different stages of your puberty. So please don't stress, just go with it, and I promise you'll come out the other side. Okay. And as we've discussed before, guys, in a previous video that I've done, the different stages of puberty, when a young man's voice breaks is normally around the age of 11 to 16. And again, if by the age of 16 you haven't had any indication of puberty starting, I definitely would advise that you just go and pop and see your GP and have a chat with them, and potentially you might have to go and have some blood tests done just to see what's going on with your hormone levels. Surprisingly, both boys and girls go through voice changes during puberty. Normally with a young lady, it's very slight, you normally don't notice it, and it normally only changes by one tone. But in a young man, it can change up to 5 to 10 tones, which is absolutely amazing. So you can go from having quite a squeaky voice and a childlike voice to having a very deep manly voice by the end of puberty. So why does this actually happen? Why does your voice change? Why are you going through this stage in your puberty? So the increased levels of hormone in a young man, called testosterone, are the reasons that these changes are actually happening. What physically happens within the body is so interesting. So the voice box, also known as the larynx, starts to grow. While this is happening, the vocal cords are thickening. The nasal, the sinus, and the throat cavity are also becoming larger, which are allowing the voice to resonate through a greater space. I've added some pictures to show you the anatomy of the larynx and the windpipe and the vocal cords, just so you have an idea of actually what I'm talking about. So the sounds that we actually make, as in our voice, is made in a really clever way. Again, everything in the body is quite amazing. So sound is made by air being pushed up from the lungs back through the voice box. The voice box itself is a structure at the top of your windpipe, so located up here. It's made out of cartilage, like you would find in your ear. So the tissue and cartilage that you find in your ear, that's the same structure that's made, that your voice box is made from. So stretched across your voice box are vocal cords, and they're like elastic bands. They can move and vibrate. And as the air leaves the lungs and travels upwards, it passes through the vocal cords, which then start vibrating, and just very slightly, and that is how the sound of your voice is made. Another noticeable change while this process is happening is something called the Adam's apple will develop. So you will notice on young men's throats that they have a lump that suddenly appears at the front of their throat. And the reason that this happens is because the larynx enlarges, it starts tilting forward and then causes a protruding lump. And as I said, this is what is known as the Adam's apple. So the actual process of a young man's voice changing, in most cases, doesn't take very long, but there have been records that, you know, some young men, it can take up to a complete year for them to stop noticing the change within their voice and their voice to settle. The more stress you put your body under, sometimes the natural recovery takes a long time to happen. So again, just going with it. It's very natural, it's normal. Every male will experience voice change, and it's, like we keep saying, it's part of a natural puberty cycle. So guys, there's not really many complications that come with your voice breaking and your voice changing. So if you do experience a sore throat or irritation while this process is happening, there's very simple ways to help yourself with this. So by drinking warm fluids, that can help keep the throat lubricated. It can also help with any irritation. So if you're someone that can drink honey and lemon, or even down just warm water, then that can be really, really helpful. There are some people that recommend face steaming. So you would put, so very simple, it's a hot bowl of water, put a towel over your head, and then breathe in the steam. I'm not sure how everyone feels about that, but it can be quite dangerous if the water's too hot. The steam can cause burning to the skin, and also if the water's too hot and it splashes on your face, again, it can cause burning. So if you are going to do that, there are actual face steamers that you can use that are little units, and maybe that might be a safer route to use. The last option, and maybe it could be the first option depending on how you feel, is using throat lozenges. So ones that you can just buy over the counter, and they can just take the harshness away from the possible sore throat that you're feeling. So guys, that is a really short video today, because this process of voice changing, there isn't much information out there. It isn't very clinical. It's just a process that, because of hormones, your body is going to go through. Like I said, there's not many complications that come with it, but it can just be embarrassing and annoying. And of course, when you're about to do a presentation or when you need to talk openly, that's when you're going to hear the crackling of your voice. But like I keep saying, this process is normal, it is natural, and it will come to an end. And as I said in the video, if you do not have any signs of puberty by the age of 16, then it's really advisable that you just have a chat with your GP and make sure that everything is going in the right direction for you. So guys, thank you once again for listening to Gemma's Taboo Health Talks. As always, please guys, share these videos. You do not know who they're going to help at the end of the day. Please subscribe to my channel. Again, there is loads of interesting stuff coming up. I'm trying to get through a few puberty subjects. I might end this subject quite soon and then start looking at some other things that people have requested, but I can always come back to anything that you guys want. So please, 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 as I always say, just send me your requests and I will get to them as soon as possible. And once again, guys, thank you so much for everything and have a great day. Bye.